Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly forecast. We're setting the intention here for June 13th through the 19th. However, you might see this video a few weeks after, a few months, a few years after. You're going to see it whenever you're meant to hear the messages. Keep in mind, this is a general reading for the collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate. Take what does and leave what doesn't. Also, you may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Sometimes your moon sign or rising sign might add a little more information. Sometimes it resonates more than your sun sign. But we're going to connect here and see what messages are coming up for our dear friends here. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. All right, now we're going to move you all just a little bit closer. And the first card that's coming up here is the Two of Wands. Okay. This can be partnerships, right? Partnerships where there is some kind of a goal in mind or something that you're working towards together. So for this reason, it's oftentimes seen as like a business partnership or a project. It can be love and romance if you're also coming together with a like-mindedness or a common goal. Now, the Two of Wands is also a card about weighing the pros and cons about a situation. You need to make a decision, but you need to think very carefully before making this decision. A lot of the times in my readings, this comes up to say that you need to think carefully because this is a situation where you might have expectations and then you're going to go ahead and accept the opportunity or the offer or go into this agreement, and then all of a sudden you're like, that was not what I was expecting, and we get really disappointed. The situation or the offer may not be a bad situation, it may not be a bad offer, but because it's not what we were anticipating, it puts a huge damper on it and we're not able to enjoy it. And then sometimes we can't get over the disappointment of the expectation and we end up just completely, totally throwing it away altogether, even though it wasn't a bad thing. So for me in my readings, when the Two of Wands comes up, you need to make sure you're on the same page. You need to be communicating. This might be a time that you need to negotiate a little bit better or do a little bit of homework, do a little bit of research so that as you're going into an agreement, you're able to set it up in a way that's beneficial for you. A lot of the times in a Two of Wands situation, what I've seen reading for people is you're dealing with a person or organization that's going to benefit from you greatly. Like they know how beneficial you're going to be to them. They also know that you have no clue how beneficial you're going to be to them. Therefore, they kind of maybe lowball you. They give you a low offer or they set things up in their favor. If you could get more information, if you could be more aware of what you're bringing to the table, then this is going to put you in a position where you can negotiate or you can communicate something where you're also getting ahead, right? So maybe you're being offered a job. It's a good idea to figure out what the job responsibilities are, what the duties are of that job, and do a little bit of research. Is this what this job title entails? Or are they taking two or three jobs and putting them together under one title and then offering this job to me and I'm getting paid for this one title? But yet there's these other jobs, right? If you can be educated, then in that moment you can say something like, well, I noticed it's kind of like this position and this position put together, and this might be a fair salary for this position, but since it's this position and then some, then the salary should be this salary and then some, right? Or you can negotiate better if you're going in educated, is what I'm telling you. Maybe it's not a job offer, maybe it's a partnership, whether it's a business partnership or a romantic partnership. Make sure you're on the same page. Make sure that you want the same things. And Ask somebody what their definition of that is or what that means to them. If you have somebody saying, "Oh, well, we're going to be equal partners," okay, then make sure that it's very clear what the responsibilities are, how the responsibilities are being broken up, how the investment is being broken up. Do they think that they're going to come in and just do a lot of work to make up for the fact that they're not investing financially, but you're going to be the one doing all of the financial investment, and then you're going to break everything up with them 50-50 because they worked? Are you okay with that? You might not be okay with that, right? Or you might work out some kind of an agreement where it's like, okay, well, maybe you can't come in and invest, but you're going to work, so we'll take your the work that you're doing and we'll figure out how we're going to calculate that in terms of investment, and then your payback in the beginning won't be 50%. Your payback in the beginning will be this percent until your work has paid off your 50% investment, or however you want to break that up. If it's a relationship and somebody's telling you they want to take things slow, you might want to ask, okay, what does that mean to you when we're taking things slow? What does that look like to you? Are we still getting to know other people? Is it exclusive? What does taking it slow look like to you? Also, what do you think is a good, acceptable, appropriate time frame when you're taking it slow to figure out if you want to move things forward with someone or you want to make something official? That way you're not in a situationship that's going on 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This person can know that you're coming into this and you're like, all right, I'm cool with taking it slow, but I also expect you to make a decision at some point. And I know you might need some time to make that decision. That's all cool. But I'm not going to be here doing this for, 6, 7, 8, 9 months trying to wait for you to figure out if you like me or not. I'm not going to put myself on hold. I'm not going to put myself on the back burner. And maybe you let this person know, like, okay, we're taking it slow, but I'm still going to be talking to other people. Or you need to make sure that you all are on the same page, right? You need to make sure that you all are on the same page. So communicate, ask questions. That way you don't end up with unmet expectations and disappointment. The next card that's coming up for you all is the Eight of Wands. Well, this is good. Eight of Wands is communication, but it's also movement, things happening very quickly, blockages being over. So, Cancer, with these two cards coming in together, it gives me a feeling, in a sense, that there's an opportunity coming in here for you all this week that can be very beneficial. It can be very, very beneficial, and it could be great. It could even be something where you feel like, wow, I'm getting ahead. Things are moving forward. Here's some real progress, right? How exciting. The difference between how it turns out comes down to the foundation here. If you can communicate and do your homework, then this is something that can flourish very quickly and in a short period of time. And you can see this progress and you can see this movement. Some of you maybe even are manifesting the kind of work or maybe even retirement that's going to give you the freedom and the ability to kind of go wherever you want to go, where you're not tied down to one specific place. Eight of Wands can also come up sometimes when we're connecting with our excitement, feeling this excitement and zeal for life, and, doing things that are exciting to us, doing things that are like we wake up in the morning and we're looking forward to the day. And maybe some of you, it's been a long time since you felt that. But this is the energy I feel like you're coming into. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Two of Cups. This also came up for Libra. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. Now, and it could be Libra sun, moon, rising, maybe even Venus. It doesn't have to be a Libra sun sign. But there's a sense here of connection, of understanding, of being invested, of working things out, a sense of harmonious connection and playfulness. This is oftentimes seen as a true love card. Now, this is the thing about the Two of Cups. Sometimes we're not the least bit interested in love or romance, and that's okay. You don't have to be. So, Two of Cups can also just be in general interpersonal relationships and interactions with people, where these are people, it doesn't have to be romantic, but people who are stepping in and they're concerned about your needs, right? They're coming in like, how can I make cancer happy? How can I help cancer out today? What can I do for cancer? Right? These aren't people who are coming into the situation simply to take. And maybe a lot of this is happening because there seems to be this boost and improvement in your communication. You're speaking up, you're asking questions, you're making your intentions very clear. And so it's as if you're also making a statement to the universe. So you're letting the universe know, hey, universe, here's the standard, here's the expectation, and I'm not interested in letting in or allowing in anything that's not meeting that standard or that expectation. So as a result, now you're going to have dealings with people where they care, they're making an effort, they're showing up. You all have heard me say this before, my regular viewers. The Two of Cups for me is a card that indicates when giver meets giver. Because unfortunately, when we're giving people, a lot of the time we attract takers. It's just the nature of how things go. And a lot of you are done with that. You're done with the people who are coming in as takers and not giving anything back. So now here you have supportive interactions, generous, sincere interactions of people that show up like, how can I be of help? How can I be of service? And these are the types of partnerships, relationships that will go on forever because both people are invested in keeping it alive. Both people are invested in keeping it growing and moving along and thriving. Okay? With Libra, there was a sense of playfulness here and closeness. Now, I don't know why I'm getting this feeling or this vibe from this card for you all, Cancer, but I am. And you all know that I read intuitively, and like sometimes the cards will give off certain energies in the reading. And as I'm connecting with this energy here in this reading, for Libra, I got playfulness and like talking about feelings and like coming very close together emotionally. For you all, I feel a sense of that, but I feel more so a physical intimacy. So I feel like some of you are either manifesting physical intimacy where there's passion, but there's also affection and emotion, and it's like a means in which like a way to express, right, to each other how you feel about each other. It's like you're allowing your bodies to physically express the emotions that you have for each other. I feel there's this increased emotional intimacy in physical intimacy. Some of you, maybe you're not there and you're not wanting to do that, but if you are a Cancer who maybe kind of feels weird about physical touch, maybe you feel weird about going somewhere and getting a massage because you feel weird about somebody touching you, or you feel weird about going and getting a pedicure or a manicure because you're like, it's weird, they're touching me, or you just kind of feel awkward in situations where like people might like come up and hug you and you're like, oh God, like, so if you're somebody that maybe, I'm not going to say a fear, but maybe you just weren't comfortable with physical touch, I feel something might be happening here in your ascension and in your clearing where you're beginning to enjoy it, or you're beginning to be comfortable with it. Obviously, it's going to have its boundaries. We're not talking about, going and being that way with every single person that comes along. But if you felt awkward about physical touch, I feel something may be happening here around physical touch, like embracing physical touch, embracing physical intimacy. The next card that's coming up here for you all is a major arcana card. And the major arcana cards come up anytime that we have, like kind of a major crossroads that we're coming into, or the situation that we're dealing with is directly connected to something that we came here to learn, to accomplish, to conquer, to grow. So these are significant times when we have the major arcana cards. And even though I'm setting the intention for the next 7 days, this major arcana energy is going to be around a while. So whatever is happening in the next 7 days from the time that you see this video, things are being set into motion where you're coming into this major arcana chapter in your life. Now, the death card scares a lot of people, but it's not a scary card. And I'm not just saying that with a bias as a Scorpio, because it's our card for us Scorpios. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. There could be some interactions, some transitions that you're going through with a Scorpio, or if you have a Scorpio placement, there can be big changes and big shifts happening for you in those houses or in those areas of your life. Now, with the death card here, it's one phase of your life closing, coming to an end, and a new one beginning. But the reason why I always say we don't have to be scared is because it's a sign of, it's a card of growth, but also when we talk about something ending, the death card is not the end of a situation the way, say, the Tower card could be an end from a situation. Because a lot of the times, if the Tower card is coming in as an end, it's very sudden. And sometimes we're like, oh, I didn't see that coming, even though there were signs along the way, and we kind of did, we just ignored it, right? But with the Tower card, it's like something that you feel like you didn't see coming, or you feel like it happened so suddenly. When something is ending with the death card energy, typically we're ready. Like, we're ready to let it go because it's run its course. Like, already we're tired of it, or already like we're ready to move on. So even though it can indicate an ending, typically it's going to be something that like you already know that you're done with it, or it's time to move on to something else. And so the death card is something ending, but also something new beginning. I'm not going to say ego death here because these cards feel very happy for me. What the death card feels like here to me is basically saying whatever this positive change and movement is, the death card is saying it's permanent. This is a permanent change. There's not going to be going back to the old ways or going back to the old stifled self. There's the phoenix rising here, the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it feels to me like a comeback. It feels to me like a comeback, kind of like the song Return of the Mac. Like, that's what I'm feeling here in these cards coming together. You might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. They might add a little bit more information for you. They might resonate a little bit more than your sun sign. Love readings for the month of June are linked in the description of this video. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, there's a link in the description of the video that will take you to my scheduling page, calendly.com/amethystangelite. You can schedule a private reading with me there. If you would like to check out the daily messages, every single day I post a card of the day with a daily message on the channel by popular demand. A lot of people have been wanting to do that. So if that is something that you feel may be helpful for you, be sure to check out the daily messages on this channel as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous week ahead. Take care and be well, my dears. Bye, Cancer.